Welcome to Gloria's Gab Live. Today I have with me Ray Baker with the Miami-Dade County Public Library System.
Yes.
You're the director, and there's so many fabulous things going on at the library. I am blown away every time I read about more stuff you're implementing. And before we start, though, again, thank you for coming. But I've got to thank our sponsor, South Florida PBS. You know, South Florida PBS. Week after week sponsors our show, and they are such an invaluable resource for our community, and I'm sure you can attest to that.
Absolutely. Thank you, PBS.
Yeah, thank you, PBS. So look, if you're a member, you get one of these once a month,
Okay.
and it tells you all the great programming, and there's a lot of great stuff coming up. Some of my favorite shows are coming back. Call the Midwife, and I can't remember all of them, but there's a lot. Oh, so let's start, because we have a lot to cover, and you could probably take 3 or 4 shows with all the stuff you guys are doing. So, little background on you. We were talking about how you work for the government downtown, and then you got this position as an assistant? Or what was your title when you first started with the public library system?
Yeah, I was the assistant director, mostly in charge of the business side of the house, IT, maintenance facilities, capital. And while I was there, I ended up doing my master's in library and information science. And through the course of time, I eventually became director, and I've been director of the library system I'm in my 6th year now. So,
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And
then you have another degree at the University of Miami, so you're also a Kane.
yes.
Right. So you have,
Well, my undergrad was at Florida State, so I'm a Kane.
oh my
Yeah.
goodness. So you have a lot.
Yeah.
So you cover the state of Florida. That's pretty great. Okay. So tell me, we talked about how school is starting, and there are so many wonderful programs that people can take advantage of in the library system. One of them is tutoring. So if I'm a parent and I have a kid and maybe I don't get home in time to do the homework with them, are they able to set it up ahead of time and access a place where the kids can go online and get tutoring? How does that work?
Yeah, so our tutoring program, we do it by semesters, really. So
Oh, is that
spring,
it?
summer, and fall. We just wrapped up the summer tutoring as well as our summer reading program, where we
Right.
had about 80,000 hours of reading logged by our young people
Wow.
throughout the community, and a lot of closeout events this past weekend. So it was a really good turnout this year. And now we're transitioning into both library card sign-up month in September and to start our fall tutoring. And
Oh.
our K through 12 tutoring is done by certified teachers who are library tutors. They work exclusively with us as well as with Miami-Dade Public County School Board, many of them. And we do this both online and in person. Our online classes are usually on Tuesdays and Thursdays, where they can do half-hour one-on-one tutoring sessions with a certified teacher. And then Saturday is our real big day for tutoring, where we have in-person tutoring at 29 locations. Most weekends, we see about 1,200 K through 12 students throughout our library system. So
I've actually been to the library
there
on a
when it's
Saturday
happening,
and
yeah,
see,
it's,
and I'm going, oh my gosh, look at that. That's so cool.
yeah, and that's done through group tutoring.
yeah.
And by the way, it's a great money-saving way of getting assistance for your kids, because private tutoring, as we know, it can be kind of expensive.
Exactly.
So we think this is a great service that we're providing our
No.
families throughout Miami-Dade County.
No, there are so many things. I just told you I'm wasting a lot of money.
Yeah.
When I started reading all the things you offer, I'm going, wait a minute, I'm paying for that. Okay, so first thing you need to do if you want to take advantage of all this great stuff is get a library card.
Absolutely.
And that's super easy, right?
Very easy. You can either go into any one of our 50 library locations throughout Miami-Dade County. You can also, from the comfort of your own home or from your office, you can sign up for an e-card, which will essentially give you an electronic library card, which
Oh.
you can then take your library mobile app and store your card on your telephone and use it, whether you're using it online or whether you're going to the branch. It can be scanned just like you have it in
Yeah,
your
right.
wallet.
Yeah. And then this one comes with a little thing that you can put on your keychain.
Yes.
So then you're never without your library card. So I just put mine on my
Yeah.
I realized I hadn't taken it apart, and I just put it on my keychain this morning.
Yeah, and by the way, this year we're approaching, like I said, library card sign-up month, but we've already signed up about 52,000 new people this fiscal year. So I think we're hoping to get to around 75,000 new library users this year. So it's really, I don't know if it's new residents, if it's people moving here, people having kids and getting cards for their kids. So it's a great turnout.
Combination
happening,
of
yeah.
that, but also I think people are just kind of realizing and it's a resource that is not used enough. I mean, obviously you have the numbers, but
Yeah.
considering how many people we have in Miami-Dade County, there are a lot of people that are new arrivals, and you're absolutely right, new arrivals. They don't know what a wonderful system we have here.
Well, they're finding out because we're seeing them in our branch, and we know, there's over 1.2 million or so people who have a library card already. So there's certainly some
Isn't
more to
that-
sign up, but we
yeah.
know it's they're finding us. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's great. So we talked about homework and tutoring, but one of the other things is, some people say, "Oh, I don't have Wi-Fi at home," or "It's down." What have you done to rectify that?
Well, in addition,
And I think we have a picture.
Okay. Yeah, well, in addition to, we've always had Wi-Fi inside our library locations.
Right.
And that's something very popular with people now having so much access to their own devices, whether it's a phone or a laptop.
Mhm.
But during the pandemic, we started what is called drive-up Wi-Fi, which you can see on the screen now.
Yeah.
And we did that as a means of, for a short while, our libraries were closed during the pandemic, and we wanted to find a way to help bridge the digital divide because people were having trouble, whether they had too many people in the house during the pandemic and they
Right.
were, eating up all the bandwidth on their Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
We wanted to provide another option that people could not only access the library, but also to get access to the internet. So I believe now we have drive-up Wi-Fi at 35 of our locations in our parking lots
Mhm.
and about 700 or 800 parking spaces. So you can pull into the parking lot anytime.
So you have to pull in where there's a little sign.
Yeah, some of them are marked. Some of them, the entire parking lot is
So it
powered
doesn't
up.
matter where you
Doesn't
park?
matter where you park.
Yeah.
But yeah, you just pull in and you can connect to the library Wi-Fi and use it for a little while you're
Yeah.
on the go.
Yeah.
So it's a great service and help, like I said, bridging the digital divide. And
Absolutely. Yeah. And one of the things that I never knew you did, and I should have known, you lend actual Chromebooks, laptops for 30 days at a time. And they're already, tell me about that. How does that work?
right, so that's part of our community connectivity program. Also another digital divide effort that we started during the pandemic. And we loan Chromebooks, we loan Samsung tablets and hotspots, mobile hotspots, which allow you, if you already have a computer, you don't need to borrow a computer from us, but you can take the mobile hotspot home or wherever you are, and it has a cellular connection that allows you to connect to the internet. So
Wow.
you're absolutely correct. We have about 3,000 of those devices, and people can take them out for like 30 days, but if there's no one waiting on it, they can renew and keep it longer.
Yeah.
So another way of not only providing the device, but also providing the connection in places where people may not have broadband access in their homes.
Exactly. No, I'm just blown away by all of this stuff. There's pages and pages of stuff that you guys are doing. One of the things we talked about was, hold on. Getting passports now at the library? I don't have to go
Right.
to the post office anymore?
Yeah, so a couple of years ago, we opened our first passport location in conjunction with the U.S. Department of State. They
Yeah.
were looking for places to partner with to, be able for residents to have more access for places where they could apply for their passport. So we opened our first one at North Dade Regional, then we opened our second one at South Dade Regional, and this week we're opening our third location at West Kendall Regional Library.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and last year I think we issued about 7,500 passports. During the pandemic, a lot of people, you couldn't really use your passport, and a lot of people's
Exactly.
passports expired. And we know
That's what happened to me, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
the demand for appointments is off the charts right now because people are obviously back in travel mode and wanting to get renewed. They've
Yeah.
had kids during the pandemic that need passports.
Oh, yeah.
So our appointments we think the demand is more than there, and we're excited about opening this third location.
For sure, yeah. And you and I talked about it. I used to go to the Coral Gables Library all the time, and then I started going to Miracle Mile because you were renovating, and now it's renovated and it looks gorgeous. I think
Thank
we
you.
have a picture of that. You want to show it? Oh, I'm sorry, I put it out of order. But look
Yeah.
how beautiful it is.
Yeah, that's the children's room at Coral Gables, which,
Right.
like you said, reopened at the end of May.
Uh-huh.
And it was a great partnership with the city of Coral Gables, many of their agencies, as well as our team. And this is a historic building, and I
Yeah.
think we took a lot of special care in making sure that
Yeah.
we did not impact the historic elements of it.
Right.
And I was just there this past Saturday for the summer reading event. We had close to 1,000 people in that location. It was jam-packed.
Whoa.
And ever since reopening on May 26th or May 22nd, it's back to number one in terms of circulation of materials.
Is that right?
That branch is always packed, and people,
It is.
heavy readers in that area.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
A lot of students from UM go there to study. It's a very busy location.
Yeah.
And we're really
And-
happy to have it back open.
And do you still have a public place there where you have like lectures and things like that?
Yeah, it has a
didn't-
multi-purpose room there.
Yeah, it used to be in back of the counter.
Exactly.
Yeah, is it still there?
Yes, and
Yeah,
in
I've
heavy
gotta go
rotation.
I haven't taken a tour yet. I gotta
What?
go take a tour. No, I just saw your pictures.
Yeah, so we're really happy to have that back open. It really turned out nice, and I know the residents around that area are happy to see it back open as well.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah. So, what else is going on? We have local authors that
Mhm.
you're hosting, and how does that work?
Well,
You like books and books only?
Well, Books and Books
the
does an
library?
amazing job,
Yeah,
and
they
they're
do.
a great partner of us as well.
Uh-huh.
But we also get a lot of authors who are looking to get their books in the library.
Mhm.
And we can't put everyone's book in the library, but we do try to find a way to work and promote local authors. And we have this local author program where someone will ask us, hey, can you take a look at my book? Can we put it in the library? And typically they'll do maybe an author presentation of some sort,
Uh-huh.
either whether online or in person. So it's a great way of us partnering with the author community. And each year as well, we have a local author fair, our own, usually in January, February.
Yeah.
I think this past year we had about 75 authors who came out. And just
There are
great
so
turnout,
many
yeah.
great authors in this community. I'm getting people sending me books
Yeah.
all the time, and some really, really good books.
Excellent,
Yeah.
yeah.
So some of them have been at Cal Thomas was just at Books and Books.
Mm.
Do you have his new book?
I'm sure we have it in our
He has,
collection.
well, he
yeah.
has the second book that he just
Yeah.
came out with. Yeah, but La Isla Venerable by a Cuban spy, kind of true story based on a true story.
I'll have to look
That's
that one
another
up.
good one. Yeah, but yeah. So other than that, we have the ability to subscribe to so many things that I've been paying for,
Yeah.
and you give it away for free. So tell all of our people here that are listening and looking at us how they can save a lot of money.
Yeah, and look, I think the library is probably one of the few government services where you can actually work down your tax dollars and find a
Exactly.
way of saving it. You and I were talking a little bit before we started about all of the ebooks and e-audiobooks and the platforms we provide that allow you to check out the same books you might be buying from a retailer, that you can check them out from the library.
Yeah.
And we use a platform called Libby, which is an ebook platform. And
Okay. So I went on and I was looking. I didn't know what Libby was. So thank you.
Yeah, so that's an ebook and e-audiobook platform that
Uh-huh.
we subscribe to, and that with
Okay.
your library card you can download on your mobile phone, and you can check out books directly from your device.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the other thing you do is you mail stuff to people for free. What?
That's right. That was another pandemic-driven service
Yeah.
that we wanted to start expanding, and we started providing home delivery services. We call it Libraries at Your Door.
Mhm.
And whenever you're putting an item on hold through our catalog or calling in, you can say, I'd like to have this item delivered to me. And it's as simple as that. And we try to get it to you within 2 or 3 days. And all we ask is that you return it to the library.
You have to
That's
return
one
it.
way.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, otherwise they have to pay for the
Yeah.
postage going back.
Exactly.
but-
And we mailed about 70,000 books already this year. So it's catching
Wow.
on. And we think it's a great way of having the library be a viable service that we'd love for you to come in person, but you can also enjoy it from home or wherever.
Well, no, that's the amazing thing, because you made it so that actually anybody, regardless of their ability,
Yeah.
their financial, ability to pay or not pay or whatever, can take advantage of so many resources. So I know there's more stuff. Tell me one thing that you thought was the best, one of the best innovations that you've made since you've been there.
Well, I'd say it's a tie between the home delivery service
Yeah.
and the connectivity program where we can lend out laptops and the hotspots. I think those have been extraordinarily popular.
Mhm.
But the most popular is the ebooks and the audiobooks. I mean, I don't really consider that an innovation because that's provided by
No,
a
yeah.
third-party company, but
Yeah.
it is up there with physical checkout in terms of how many people are using it. So it's really good to know that people are having both this experience in the library and at home when using a library nowadays.
And how many books do you think on an average you purchase a year?
That I purchased, or the
That
library?
the library says not you.
Well, we purchased around $4 to $5 million worth just in physical materials, and then probably another 2 to 3 million in e-content.
Yeah.
So
So you
two
have a
different
really
categories of them.
big budget to manage.
Yeah.
And how many employees?
Full-time and part-time, around 750 to 800 on any time period. So
Yeah.
with 50 locations, you have not only a lot of people working face-to-face with the public, but you have maintenance and facilities and procurement and purchasing and real estate and all kinds of different things that go along with it.
And is there any talk in the future, because our county is expanding, because we have different areas that are opening up because of development, whatever. Are there plans to do branches in other places coming in the future? Do you see?
Yeah, we definitely have some locations throughout Miami-Dade County that the population has kind of outgrown our coverage of the area.
Yeah.
So we're looking, especially in some areas down south, that
Yeah,
we
that's
think
what I was
there's some
thinking.
service holes that we need to fill in the near future. And not only that, but we're doing, as you saw with Coral Gables, we're doing a lot of modernization of our existing branches. So we kind of have 2 feet in the water there. One, trying to keep up with the population growth, but also trying to modernize all of our older locations and make them an amenity, a destination for our residents.
Exactly. Well, you want to make them attractive. You're
Absolutely,
right. So
yes.
that people will want to go.
We want
Right.
people to appreciate and have pride in the facilities we're providing for them, and to show that we have pride in the facilities we're providing.
One of the things I love about the location in Pinecrest is you've got that Romero Brito artwork out front, and that is so pretty.
Yeah, I can't take credit for that. I think that maybe belonged to the Village of Pinecrest, but
Oh, is that who did that?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that was kind of a nice
Yeah.
touch. But okay, so you've got a teen library card design contest. You want to tell us about that?
Yeah, it's a great way to get our young people engaged, and it's an opportunity to actually design a library card that the winning card will end up being like your library
That's
card
huge.
there.
Can you imagine having your design on a card?
And
Thousands and
exactly, we'd create it, we'd add it to our library card options, and people have the
oh, so you
opportunity
can
to
take
it
your
home.
pick. You have different designs?
Mhm.
Oh, I didn't even know that. Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Something- Well, but I'm not going to change my card just to get a different design.
Well, you can if you want to. We don't
I
mind.
can?
It's
Oh, you
okay.
don't mind? Oh, okay. So maybe I will. We'll see. We'll
We want
see
you to be happy with the card.
we'll
you
see
have.
who wins the contest.
Yeah.
We'll see how good that is, right? And how they've got from September 5th through the 21st to do that.
Mhm.
So you've notified, I would assume, all the schools in Miami-Dade County to let them know about it, or how are they finding out about this?
Through different means, through our social media, through our newsletter, through we leave information in our branches. We also work with our partners to get the word out, and it'll be up on our website, of course, that people can see all the instructions for how they submit a design to enter the contest.
Okay, and they're 13 to 19 years old.
Yeah.
So that's the age. So pretty much junior high, high school,
Teens, yeah.
or middle school. Yeah, I'm showing my age. So, okay, so we got let me make sure we don't forget anything, because there are,
Well, you talked a little bit about some of the ways to save money, and we
yeah.
and,
Oh, yeah.
we talked about the tutoring, talked about just your library card in general, and the ebooks and the audiobooks, the subscriptions to things like the Miami Herald, New York Times, Wall Street Journal. So we provide access to those newspapers, which obviously is a great way to save money as well.
Big time.
Yeah.
I'm spending a fortune.
In our Miami Herald collection, we have access to the historic papers as well, from
Oh,
going
wow,
back to
that's-
1905. So it's a pretty
No way.
Yeah.
1805?
19.
1905. I was well, even 1905 is big.
Yeah, still.
That's still over 100 years. So, but look at what you've got. You've got this adult learning academy.
Yeah.
All these languages. Oh my gosh, I can brush up on all my languages.
Your languages and anything else, many other things you need to. And
So you've got free and in-person classes, and are they different for every location? Will the online or just online?
Right. We found the Adult Learning Academy is working best online, and
Yeah.
allows us to set up a curriculum. So if you do introduction to Spanish, we try to do that for about an 8-week period, and you can move on to the next version the following semester. And I think it's a nice way for people to brush up on different skills. Also, we have some citizenship classes. We have some GED classes for people who are looking to finish their high school
GED?
degree.
Yeah, that's
So
great.
these are ways to help keep people engaged, and lifelong learning is a part of all of our lives, and we think it's a great way of engaging with our residents.
I love it. And yeah, I was talking to Alex about it. Alex doesn't speak Spanish, but we've got to get, Alex is our producer. Thank you so much for doing this for us. He's great. Yeah, we're gonna sign you up for a Spanish class. He's laughing. He's going, oh, leave me alone. But yeah, there's so many great things that, Portuguese, you've got French, Italian, Portuguese, and then, and then people are paying big money for SAT and GED prep classes. That's important.
Yeah, it's another example with the K through 12. Most some of them might need the older ones might need that, but there's also people in that age range that want to avail themselves of those services. So yeah, we think it's all very popular. The classes fill up quickly, and people seem to be enjoying it.
Yeah, well, I'm going to check into that. I don't know when I have time to do it, but you can make time if you want to make time, right?
Yeah, I also, if you don't mind, I also wanted to mention
Yeah.
our social worker program.
I don't know anything about that.
Yeah,
Tell me.
so with the mayor, Mayor Lubinkava, we've started working obviously on expanding our services, connecting with other departments, doing things that really address the needs of all types of residents throughout Miami-Dade County. And we started a social worker program at several of our locations, including the main library, Miami Beach, North Shore, areas where we might tend to get a higher population of homeless individuals or mentally ill, to really work on helping them get connected to services they might need, benefits, housing. And so we actually have social
wow.
workers on staff now in some of our libraries.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're a full service, I'm telling you.
Well, I think we've been doing it for a long time, just not
Yeah,
without the
you're just-
professional social worker. And we really felt it was time to have that on staff, have that expertise, and understand that there is a level of care that only a social worker can provide, as opposed to one of our librarians being saddled with trying to know how to do that work. Yeah.
Yeah, no, there's definitely a specialty. So, So we are almost out of time, and I know we could go into more depth on all these programs that you're offering, but I'm so glad you came today to talk to me about it and to share all the stuff that you're doing. I am just amazed.
Well, thank you for having me. And I also, as a parting, just wanted to say that remind people that with this extreme heat we have outside, our libraries are also designated as cooling centers. So
that's true.
really important that if you don't have a place to go during these extreme heat advisories, that don't forget you can go into a library and you have AC, water.
And you can.
We have cooling packages that the county has put together,
do you
like cooling
really?
towels that you can use to help cool off. So be mindful of the extreme heat out there.
Yeah, for sure. And then the next thing is we're going to have people come bring water for you. So, but thank you so much for coming today and sharing all the wonderful resources that we
Wonderful
have at our
talking to you, yeah.
fingertips. And I was so excited to learn all this. Again, I want to thank South Florida PBS for sponsoring our show week after week. And until next time, stay cool, visit your library, and be kind to each other, and have a great week.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay.